next on นะครับ after we provide the feedback to the users already. Now we talk about the attractive layout and design นะครับ try to use appropriate colors to highlight different areas of the screen นะครับ but in this case I don't mean you have to use yellow, neon green or red color no นะครับ no need but just use appropriate color นะครับ not to be just like too contrast นะครับ you just like go to have a look on the theory of using colors on the design นะครับ that will be the good introduction good idea for you which color that you just like combine them together which color you should use and you shouldn't use on the screen นะครับ and try to use special effects sparingly นะครับ I remember that long time ago I asked my professor asked me to just like design the user interface นะครับ in the HCI class with my friend um, what she did was just like a website นะครับ to promote the tourist spots in Thailand นะครับ and she said that okay I'll make this website to be interesting what she did was she just like put the sound on the sound effect นะครับ like the door opening every time you click on any buttons นะครับ for sure it attracts everyone but the professor just like said that he gave the comment and said that okay this one is okay but for just the first or second time only when you use this sound but when you use the same sound นะครับ more than 2 times นะครับ for just like clicking on the button it's annoying นะครับ so that's why you have to know that you have to use special effect นะครับ sparingly next when you want to jump when you want the users to jump to related topics use hyperlink to help them นะครับ and group related objects and information together so that it will be easy for the users to navigate on your screen นะครับ so this one you can use like this user interface design to every kind of design นะครับ not just like the information system นะครับ but the application design is as well นะครับ right next you should use the familiar terms and images นะครับ remember that users are accustomed to a pattern of red means stop yellow means caution and green mean go or okay นะครับ so you can see that if you use red means go green means stop the users will be confused นะครับ and they cannot use and they do not use the system smoothly so remember that okay human beings we have just like the pattern นะครับ the accustomed pattern and then yeah of just like the color นะครับ and the icon that they use as well นะครับ okay right for example if we use the Windows environment นะครับ cross or X นะครับ at the bottom sorry cross or X at the top right corner of the screen means you closed but if you say that cross you mean save while this get button mean exit user will be confused นะครับ so nobody does like that นะครับ provide a keystroke alternative for each menu command นะครับ provide a keystroke alternative for each menu command so that means นะครับ what does it mean if we go to this one นะครับ okay let's just show you a bit I go to PowerPoint okay you can see that for these menus นะครับ this menu if you just like put some characters on the menu นะครับ for example here once I press alternate button you see that okay this is the keystroke alternative นะครับ if I press alternate and then A it means animation something like that นะครับ this is to help users to just like go to that menu easily นะครับ and quicker right after that นะครับ after that use familiar command if possible the familiar commands that we use นะครับ are just like if you have to design the system นะครับ to be used with Windows based computer you may use like the commands that we found นะครับ that we usually find on Windows นะครับ so that your users will be familiar with them. Then provide a Windows look and feel in your interface design if you are familiar with Windows-based application นะครับ but for some of you when you have to design นะครับ according to but I mean like for example if you design like mobile apps for example like on iPhone นะครับ the style นะครับ and design looks similar to the Mac นะครับ OS base นะครับ something like that as well นะครับ it depends นะครับ on your design you have to see the majority of your users to how do they gonna use this kind of thing นะครับ the next one นะครับ the next one we talk about the control features นะครับ let's see suppose we are talking about student registration system นะครับ on this screen นะครับ we add menu bar so that the users นะครับ can use our system easily and then can navigate and can go to wherever they want นะครับ just one below okay in this one okay they add the menu bar นะครับ in here okay next on นะครับ they also have toolbar as well นะครับ they also have toolbar as well in here they can have the toolbar here there and also they may have like this one the sorry not navigation pane sorry this one you can have just like some toolbars in order to provide to users as well and when they click on each menu it shows the toolbar for the users as well command button command button like for example you have button here help or find student or print record นะครับ dialog box is here นะครับ to show and respond to the user นะครับ text box to let users enter some information นะครับ depends on what you want to have นะครับ and also you may have like the toggle button นะครับ if the users want to go to Thai or English language something like that you may provide this kind of like toggle button for them นะครับ or switch นะครับ to another language or night mode นะครับ or daytime mode something like that นะครับ it depends on your design นะครับ you can just like add these features control features to the users next on นะครับ list box นะครับ or scroll bar นะครับ list box or scroll bar that you can just like add it for your users as well next on นะครับ drop down list box นะครับ drop down list box นะครับ or option button นะครับ like this one okay next option button or radio button option button or radio button it's found from the previous page นะครับ this is radio button is here radio button that you can choose one out of the choice นะครับ in this example it's either full-time or part-time only นะครับ that you can enter after that checkbox นะครับ here is checkbox and then you may have like the calendar control as well นะครับ instead of entering the date like this นะครับ you can let the users นะครับ to choose from the calendar นะครับ that is a button นะครับ that is a button behind your calendar as well นะครับ same as the one that I always use on canvas นะครับ let me just give you one good design on canvas นะครับ that they did very well okay let's see okay so let's have a look นะครับ for this one if I say that okay I go to this module for team discussion okay let's have a look นะครับ this one if I just like have to choose the date นะครับ you can see that I can enter the date นะครับ once I just like move the cursor onto that text box นะครับ for available from box here it just tell us for the date and time นะครับ that I can enter in what format or I can use the calendar control here when I click it shows the calendar นะครับ that I can choose from the list and also I can specify the time here นะครับ with AM or PM so that it will be very easy for me in order to just like enter the correct date and time นะครับ in the system after that นะครับ when we have this already นะครับ the next thing นะครับ that we have to know is that okay um, the switchboard นะครับ that you can have just like the main menu for the users that you should have it as well นะครับ that is the user interface that you should have the user interface here normally we mean like the way that we just like let the users to see and then interact with the system most of the time we mean like the screen นะครับ now when we talk about user interface design already we talk about the output นะครับ the output design just won't be long นะครับ what happened to the screen okay in here before we design the output you have to ask yourself with several questions นะครับ such as the first one what is this output for who will use this output why is it needed how will they use this information นะครับ also you have to ask yourself that okay what specific information must be included in this output นะครับ for example date time that we print out or we display this output do we need to have it the users who is logging in do you need to show it on the screen or on the paper นะครับ will the output be printed or not or we just view it on the screen or both what type of device will the output go to because if you say that you print you can see that right now when you print there are various kind of printing sometimes you say that you print on the easiest one you design on A4 page you just print by using the regular printer doesn't matter whether it's a laser printer or inkjet but I mean like there are like some other printing devices like the thermal printer as well for example if you go to buy something by using your credit cards they may print out the thermal transfer on the thermal transfer printer by using thermal transfer paper or if we just say that okay this is the parking machine นะครับ you just like go to park your car นะครับ once you just like come into the parking lot you just press a button on the machine นะครับ that is on the entrance after that it just print a small card นะครับ paper card นะครับ with the magnetic stripe on it and it prints some just like text on it for example the date and time that you enter this parking lot นะครับ something like that and when you say that okay you would like to exit from the parking lot already you just finish your business and then just go out then you say that okay once I would like to exit I have to insert that card back into the machine and pay the money after that you said okay our system can print the receipts นะครับ or print the pay slip นะครับ pay receipt I'm sorry the things that we do is that we say that okay instead of printing on another piece of paper or installing a separate thermal transfer printer on that parking machine you say that no need when the users just insert the card into the machine we can print นะครับ our receipt on that card directly so that means on the back side of the card it might be some space and say that okay how much did the machine charge you for the parking something like that but Another company said that no, I want to have a separate printer, the thermal printer. Then you have to design it separately. It's different kind of thing. After we have the output design, when we have to answer ourselves with this question already, the next thing that we have to do is that, okay, you also have to ask yourself that, okay, when will the information be provided? Is it right after users press the button, or will it be sent to the users later? For example, through email, it will be sent on the next day, something like that. Okay. How often must it be updated? For example, if we say that, okay, it's real-time one, or it's month end, that the information will be updated. Okay, so you have to know this kind of nature of that output before you start designing the things. After that, do security or confidentiality issue exist? Some of the output, it needs to have the security as well. For example, if the bank would like to print the statement of your bank account, statement of your bank account to you through email. Normally, the bank will make it as a PDF and send it to you. They don't send it straight away. They will have the password encrypted for that PDF file. So that means if somebody steal your email and then to try to open this file, they can't open it straight away because they haven't, if they don't know your birth date, you will need, they will never be able to open that document, something like that. So this one you may have to think about the confidentiality and security issues as well. Each answer of you will affect your input design strategies. After we think about the output design already, the next thing that we have to think about is the report design. Report is a kind of our output as well. Report is a kind of our output as well. So for the report design, few companies have been able to eliminate printed output totally. They may have just the PDF file or on screen for the report only. And some companies provide to have the turnaround documents and reports. Turnaround document in here means that one document you can see like in many aspects for the turnaround document. Because some of the companies, if they don't design the report properly, one report is just to serve just a specific purposes only. If you want to know some other details, you have to use another report that wastes a lot of time to prepare. But in some cases, it's impossible to have the turnaround document. The conventional document is okay. I don't limit on that one. Reports must be easy to read and well organized. It must be easy to read and well organized, so that when the users read on your report, they understand what is this report talking about, what information that this report is trying to communicate with the users who receive and read this report. Database program include a variety of report design tools. In this one, I can just suggest it to you. Most of the company around the world, they use this kind of software. They call it as Crystal Report. Crystal Report is the standard report generating software, report designing software that can you can just do it for your users, or you let the users to use the Crystal Report to design their own reports if they want. It will be easy. You just drag and drop. You have list of the fields in the database. You just drag in the layout that you want to have, and then it can be the template that users can generate the report after that. Next is character-based reports. So actually, you have to think about the report. That is it the chart or graphical display or character-based display. Most of the time, if it is a character-based display, you can see that right now because We don't have limitation in printing the report in the paper anymore นะครับ so if it is the PDF file นะครับ or it's on screen report you can use different colors นะครับ to section your data as well and then it will be very easy for users to see นะครับ and notice the result and compare the result in the report easily นะครับ but if it is the chart นะครับ that is another story you may just like use the chart visualization tools นะครับ or software visualization data visualization software or you can just like make it as a PDF in colors as well นะครับ next when we talk about the reports we have to think about of the types of them as well นะครับ detail report exception reports summary reports นะครับ what are they let me explain to you นะครับ detail reports นะครับ let me just like give an example just won't be long นะครับ let me find it in my computer first just give me 1 minute okay let's see this is an example of the report ครับ everyone why you don't see it just won't be long okay this is a report it shows the list of the students in this class in my class I mean in my class นะครับ with the status of paid and also with the student ID the name and the major นะครับ this is what we call detail report because you see every single line of detail data of the students in my class นะครับ something like this so this one we call it as the detail report นะครับ after that we talk about exception reports exception reports means a report that you just like design to show something that is exception for example if I want to have a report to show that okay which student hasn't paid the money yet นะครับ that is exception which student hasn't the grade of which student hasn't been shown นะครับ or I mean which student whose GPA is lower than 1.8 something like that นะครับ that is exception reports I filter my data and show just like for a specific kind of data that I want the users to see after that นะครับ summary report summary report is the report that just like give you just like the summarized data only for example it show us that okay how many classes do I teach in this term and in this term how many students do I have but it doesn't go down into the details that okay in interaction design class who are the students in my class that is detail report นะครับ not the summary one okay right when we have this kind of reports already นะครับ you have to know the next thing about the report design นะครับ or output design is this one user involvement in report design นะครับ when you just like prepare a report for sure there must be someone who read this report they are our users นะครับ printed reports are an important way of delivering information นะครับ so some of นะครับ the department or some of the users or some tasks they still need to see the printed reports anyway for example if we want to know that how much is the expense นะครับ that we paid on the last month นะครับ accounting department want to get this one in the printed form because they have to just record นะครับ in their account journal or accounting software also this kind of documents นะครับ will be just used to check นะครับ to cross check with the receipts นะครับ that the employees claim for the money or claim for the expense because because the accounting department has to prepare the document to turn into the taxation office, something like that. So they need to have printed reports. So it is important way of delivering information to users. So users should approve all report design in advance. So I can tell you that report design we can just like do in the very first week of designing. And also users shouldn't take long time to approve because they are like the report that I mean like if it is a printout most of them are required by law, then they can check for you straight away Submit each design for approval as you complete it, rather than waiting until you finish or report design This is the suggestion from every expert in the UI design and report design, especially for the system analysts and consultants. Let's say if a company need to have finally 100 reports when you finish designing of 2 or 3 reports, just give it to your users first, because your user will just like spend maybe 5 to 10 minutes to approve couple of report design. It's better than when you have 100 reports, you design and wait until the last 100th report finish, and then you just like pack them as a booklet, give it to your users. I'm sure that users will spend months in order to approve this one. That might be too late, or they may not have the time, then they approve everything without having a look. So be careful try to send just like some of them for approval It's better than send the whole lot for approval one time Then we may have mock-up mock-up report to show the report design with some data The mock-up data might be just like the real data that users give to you, or might be the data that you make it up to show to the users that okay, if the data looks like this, are you okay? If they said no, this data doesn't look real, you may ask them that okay, how can we adjust this kind of data, so that when they just like help you in order to put some data that looks more real than the mock-up that you propose so everyone will see it, and then they can just like approve or disapprove. And then we may have the report analysis form that okay, from the report design that you give to the users, which part must be revised, which part must be removed, which part should be added more, something like that. For the report analysis form, sometimes, excuse me, some team they just give as a blank paper they just give users with 2 pages at a time. The first page is the report itself. The second one is the report analysis form. Then what users do is that they circle by using a highlight pen or red pen to highlight on the report design. And after that, they have some comments or their analysis result in the blank page behind to tell that, okay, this part, remove it, this part, add some more thing, this part, change the color. Okay, that is report analysis form. Now, this is example of the report that you may see this is detailed report. This is detailed report because you can see that there are like information in details of like this company. So in this one, you can see that okay, when you design the reports in here, you should just like you may use like Excel or Word or PowerPoint if you don't have, or if you haven't used the tools like Crystal Report design, you may use that kind of thing, and then just set up the position of each characters to display according to what you want to code the programs to let the report to show in that position some of the designers, they use the output design to be shown in the grid lines paper or the grid line page, so that you can count number of characters when you have to print out that report, and everything will be aligned properly So in this one you have fields to be displayed in the report นะครับ and then you may have report header นะครับ and then you have page header as well นะครับ this one is sub header of the report header. After that, for the report, if it is the detail report, you should have some break นะครับ this one is what we call control break on store นะครับ for example in here it break by store number, show out the list of the detail of store number 8 first, and then have the group footer that is a summarize of each group. Then go to another store that is number 17, show all the list of employees นะครับ of the second store number นะครับ together with the hours that they work for us, and then you have grand total as a report footer นะครับ and then you have page footer like page 1, page 2, something like that. So these are components that we normally see in the report design นะครับ when you design the report like a page of paper or a PDF file. Normally we have to design in this way, and then just give, this one is mock-up as well, you just give this mock-up to your users and ask them whether it's okay or not. The next one, after we have the report design, we talk about the output technology. The output technology here นะครับ we may have like the internet-based information delivery like webcast นะครับ we may use email นะครับ as the output. We may have blogs as the output, instant messaging or wireless devices นะครับ to just like conduct the output and then transfer to your users นะครับ to let the users know the result. So apart from that one นะครับ you may use the digital audio, images and videos นะครับ podcast นะครับ fax นะครับ or automatic faximal systems นะครับ computer output microfilm and computer output to digital media นะครับ so currently the fax and microfilm we rarely use it นะครับ except in some businesses they still need to keep the microfilm นะครับ for their reports นะครับ instead of, I mean when they want to archive their reports, instead of keeping as the electronic one, they keep in the microfilm นะครับ and store in the safe of the company นะครับ right